Hello? Oh, hey! Come on in. Welcome to Crash Pad Revolution. It's Tanya, real estate professional, one-time cow riding pioneer, and go-to alternative housing gal. What people live in is a changin', folks. It's time to talk the how, what, where, and why. Grab a tasty beverage, get comfy. It's time to crash this pad. Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to week 4 of Crash Pad Revolution, 4th week of January. Cannot believe we're nearly a month into 2019. Crazy. All right. I thought it would be helpful to get some words of advice out there for home buyers and sellers. And this week I'm going to focus on sellers because the spring market will be here before we know it. I know that cold weather just doesn't seem to want to let up. However, warmer weather, I promise, is going to be here, and it's going to happen quickly. So, this is a different market now than it was just a couple of years ago or even last year as far as buying and selling homes. And that applies both locally here in the Triangle and all throughout other areas of the country. So what may have been the best to do in the last 6 or 12 months or even a little further back is not necessarily the best selling strategy now or this year. Whether it be a change in job, could be that you or someone you know is ready to become an empty nester, ready to downsize, maybe live in an RV, go travel the world, liquidate, or maybe even find a house down south here in the Carolinas or in Florida or out west where your kids and grandkids are. Maybe it's to move into something bigger with a growing family, or perhaps it could be a less pleasant reason to sell. There's many, many reasons, and there is definitely not many, many strategies when it comes to getting the best price for your house. Unfortunately, many of you out there, pretty large portion actually, do not feel comfortable talking to a realtor until absolutely necessary. Hey, I get it. I really, 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 really get it. Many in my industry can be annoying and pushy as hell. I realize this. Ain't nobody want to feel pressured with such a large sale, and besides, there's Zillow, right? Just keep in mind, not all real estate agents are created equal. Just like in any industry, you're going to see some bad eggs, and then you're going to see some chocolate Easter eggs. The point is, finding an agent that you trust who can educate you, connect you with other professionals you may need in preparation for selling, and give you accurate insight into where the market is and where it's headed for when you want to sell. It's all critical. Let me just give you some examples of what's going on and what sellers need to think about that would apply to getting the very best price for your house. You may have noticed if you're here in the Triangle of NC that our market has been and continues to be, a really popular place to move to, and the prices have shot up, which is great for most sellers. What it's also brought is we have become a testing ground for what is called an iBuyer. An iBuyer is basically a large company who is able to give you an all-cash offer and can close in as early or as little as 10 days. We've got Open Door, we've got Knock, now we've got Zillow iBuyer, and Mark Spain and his billboards. They have been advertising around this area like crazy. What this does, while it's great because it's giving sellers more options, it also creates a ton more confusion. So what I would recommend is you speak with somebody who is familiar with these companies and the different models that they offer, because there are many options and it's a lot to navigate. And to truly understand the difference in what you could get for your home, as I have done, you could actually get the best of both worlds and have an agent like myself represent you in the deal with one of the firms to ensure that you're truly getting market value coupled with a quick close, if that's a priority for you. Some other areas that I really want to touch on is, of course, getting the most for your home. So unless your home is next to new or brand new, obviously you wouldn't be selling if it's brand new. But if it's pretty new or you just did a complete rehab in the last couple of years, it's very likely you will need to do a few things if you want to get the very most money for the house. The issue is that not all updates are going to give you the best return. So it's really important to get guidance from a good realtor who stays up on design and can really guide you into what are the biggest trends right now, what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck before you start shelling out money to contractors and all this kind of stuff. Now, some are going to be obvious, right? Like if you have a, original 15-year-old dishwasher that looks crappy and barely works, that is definitely something you'd want to do and replace. Certain other things, getting a whole roof replaced, for example, unless it's like really, really bad, like you wouldn't necessarily want to replace the whole roof. Those are just a couple of examples. The other really important thing is to really understand the brain of a buyer. It's probably safe to say you have not bought a home yourself in a while. Many realtors like myself, we work with home buyers and sellers, which gives us a huge advantage to understanding the psychology between sellers and buyers, because it's a completely different set of thoughts and fears and motivations that exist. And so working with somebody who works with both sellers and buyers is really critical in understanding the psychology of a buyer and therefore doing the things that are going to work and getting you the best price and the best offer. We know what buyers want. We also know what to look for in a strong offer. And I've got to tell you, there have been so many internet companies that are trying to get on the mortgage bandwagon that is really making me nervous. I really don't like when buyers come to me saying, oh, I've gotten a quote on Quicken Loans or what have you. And these companies, while they've gotten better, are still it's really not going to give the most smooth process when it comes to the mortgage, which, let's face it, there's many more mortgage buyers out there than there are cash buyers. And so the likelihood of you getting an offer where the buyer needs to get financing is pretty darn high. Just keep that in mind, because I really stay up on top if a buyer comes for an offer and they have a non-local bank that's representing them. A great realtor can also, prep and guide you accordingly to help lower your stress and, again, help get you the best home buyer and offer there is. And there's a lot that goes into that, and there's a lot of psychology behind that. So I promise to keep this short. I hope you found some of this helpful. And if you are here in the Triangle, feel free to go over to my website to get a free, no-hassle home valuation. You can go to ToniaZ.com. Figured it was short and sweet, so it's ToniaZ.com. Click on the Sell tab and you can get your free no-hassle home valuation. Of course, if you do have a realtor that you like, know, or trust, definitely reach out to them. And if you live outside of the Greater Triangle, the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area, and you're hearing this, and you'd like to have a quick conversation about what's best for selling your house and perhaps a discreet introduction to a professional in your area, then by all means, go ahead over and my phone number is there. You can shoot me an email. And again, that's ToniaZ.com. And be sure to tune in next week when I talk all about buyers and what they need to prepare for being a buyer and getting the very best house of their dreams for 2019. Until next time, stay warm, keep smiling, and be kind. Ciao.